Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Modern Warfare video. Today we're going to be covering some leaked information, so take everything in this video with a pinch of salt, but remember that some of these leaks are being pulled straight from the PC game files and others are coming from a source who has accurately leaked most of what we see in Modern Warfare today. Let's kick things off here by talking about the multiplayer revamp. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, a multiplayer revamp. Just like with how Sledgehammer Games revamped the World War II multiplayer based on player feedback, it looks like Infinity Ward is going to be making some sweeping changes to Modern Warfare later on in the month, with the biggest change being the return of the normal minimap. In my previous video, I spent quite a bit of time discussing why I personally think that a normal minimap could potentially speed up the game, and it seemed like a lot of you guys agreed with that video, right? Well, it looks like Infinity Ward might agree as well, and in addition to the minimap changes, it also appears that a quote-unquote big overhaul is going to be coming to the game. As of right now, we don't have too much information on what is going to be changing, but just off the top of my head, I do have a few suggestions for what I think would make the game better. Number one, of course, we have the minimap, but number two, I really think that Dead Silence should be moved from field upgrade to become a perk 2. That way players have the option to always have silent footsteps, which in turn would make rushing way more viable than it currently is, but for the sake of balance, they would also have to choose between Dead Silence and Ghost, as well as other perks like Hardline and Kill Chain. Right now, it seems like 5 out of every 6 people just run Ghost here in Modern Warfare, so if Dead Silence were to become a perk 2, we would see a lot less Ghost users, which in turn would make the UAV a lot more powerful, while at the same time, people who choose to run Dead Silence will be able to rush behind enemy lines without campers hearing them coming a mile away. So there's going to be some important decisions, and Infinity Ward is all about that this year. That's why every single attachment has a positive and a negative, while having to choose between Dead Silence and Ghost, and then the other perk 2s as well. That seems like a pretty important decision that could also make the game a lot more fun for a lot more people. On top of that, I feel like the 725 shotgun should get a nerf. The Olympia is freaking absurd in this game. I find myself playing a lot more Search and Destroy than anything, and everybody uses it in that game mode, and even in Respawn game modes, people are starting to figure out how good it is over there as well. So yeah, that gun is absurd. Watch Drifter's video, I'll put a link to it down there in the description if you guys haven't seen it. That is a ridiculously freaking good shotgun. I feel like there should be some sort of penalty for leaving games early. It seems like people are constantly just rotating in and out of my lobbies every single match, and of course, if skill-based matchmaking is there, which it's hard to prove that it is or isn't, but if it is in the game, just remove it, because skill-based matchmaking is not fun for anybody. It's never been good. Why do developers continue to think that it's a good thing for the franchise? I really have no idea. I would love to hear down there in the comments, what would you personally change about Modern Warfare? What would you do? What do you think would make the game better? Leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, but since I know that so many of you are just going to say that they need to add some good maps to the game, let's go ahead and take a look at the other multiplayer leaks. So, it turns out that within the Modern Warfare PC game files, 38 total unreleased maps have been found. On your screen, I'm going to be showing you what some of those maps look like. We actually have screenshots of these maps, but I also want to cover the names of the maps that are also potentially going to be coming to the game as well. Since map remakes have been a huge topic of discussion over the course of the past couple of days, I think we'll start off with those ones. So, the returning maps within the PC game files are Crash from Call of Duty 4, Shipment as well as Shipment Night from Call of Duty 4, Subbase from Modern Warfare 2, and Rust from Modern Warfare 2. I've heard a bunch of rumors about Terminal coming around, but so far they are not within the game files, but I would not be surprised whatsoever if Terminal were to also return, but so far we only have Crash, Shipment, Subbase, as well as Rust as the returning maps. The rest of these 6v6/10v10 maps include Knee Attack, we have Dam, Krovnik Farmland, Gulag, Hospital, Layover, Lowline, Lumber, Malashev, Millbase, Oasis, Port, Prison, Rivni, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that one, Slums, Stadium, Super, Urzikstan, Torres, Transit, TV Station, Faraday, Takedown, and Borderline. Now, it is worth mentioning, it's possible that a lot of these maps are just cut multiplayer maps that will never see the light of day. For those of you who've been following the channel for a long time, you guys know I love looking at pre-alpha builds of old Call of Duty games. Recently, recently we did the Black Ops 2 multiplayer, but way back in the day, we did the Call of Duty 4 multiplayer, and there were so many maps that were developed for Call of Duty 4 that never actually made it into the full retail release. Well, because of that, I feel as though it's entirely possible that half the maps that we just went over are never going to see the light of day. Maybe they were tested, maybe they tried them out, maybe they got a little bit of development, but ultimately, maybe they were cut from the game. We really have no idea, but they are within the PC game files. Because we saw so many maps that were cut from Call of Duty 4, I think it's possible we're going to lose a lot of these maps as well, but because we have some images of these maps that were pulled from the game files, we do know that some of them are indeed going to be added to the game. Now, moving along here to the gunfight specific maps, we have Cage, Cargo, Hook, as well as Exclusion Zone, which definitely looks like an incredible map. I mean, just look at this screenshot right here. This is pretty freaking awesome looking. Even though Shipment and Rust are officially listed as 6v6 maps in the game files, I can also see them returning as gunfight maps in the future because look how small they are, right? If you've ever played Shipment or Rust in your life, then you know that they would probably work for the 2v2 gunfight mode. On top of that, we also have one additional ground war map. It's called Smetna Farms, and for me personally, I think ground war has a lot of potential here in Modern Warfare, but currently, there are only 2 maps, and that means that while it's fun for a bit, it gets boring playing the same maps over and over and going to the same areas over and over. What makes Battlefield fun, which let's not kid ourselves here, ground war is literally just conquest from Battlefield. What makes games like Battlefield 3 and 4 and 1 and 5, what makes all those games so fun is you have so many different maps to play on, right? You have this big team objective focused game mode where you're playing on all these different maps. Here in Modern Warfare, we have 2 of them, so it's nice to see that at least one more is going to be coming, and hopefully Infinity Ward plans to release even more of them at some point in the future. With all these maps sitting in the game files right now, it really does seem like Infinity Ward has a lot planned when it comes to post-launch support for this game, but as of right now, we do not have a roadmap of any kind, so we have no idea when any of this content could potentially be released. Now, obviously, the game's only been out for a week, so it's kind of crazy to be talking about what's going to be happening months and months down the line, and it's also understandable that right now we have more questions than answers, but hopefully soon Infinity Ward is going to come out and give us an idea of when we can expect post-launch content, and also hopefully they're going to talk about that multiplayer overhaul, right? Because I mean, Call of Duty games have always been a big work in progress, right? The games change and they evolve throughout the course of every single year, but this time around, it seems like a lot of people want a lot of things changed about Modern Warfare to make it more fun and to make it more interesting. For me personally, I've actually been pretty busy this week with a bunch of real-life stuff, and because of that, I've only logged about 15 hours into the game's multiplayer, and a big part of that is, well, yes, I have been busy. Another thing is, when my friends aren't online, I really don't have a lot of fun with this game so far. If I'm playing solo, I might hop on for like half an hour or maybe an hour, and then after that, I just feel burnt out. When my friends are on, I can play for 6+ hours at a time, but those days are very few and far between, and I also think it's kind of a disservice to the game developers and the gaming industry in general to say that a game is fun with friends, right? Literally everything is fun with friends. The true mark of a good, fun online experience is whether or not you can find enjoyment playing solo, and I get that it's going to differ from person to person, but for me personally, Modern Warfare Solo has not really been all that fun. Again, I'll play for maybe an hour, and then I'm like, I'm kind of just burnt out on this right now. I'll wait till later when my friends can get on, and then we can go play and joke around and have fun, right? You guys know that I love Kill Confirmed. Going back to World War II and in Black Ops 4, it was not uncommon to see me playing Kill Confirmed in a lot of my videos. It's one of my favorite game modes, so when they added Kill Confirmed to Modern Warfare with the recent update, I was pretty excited, but I can honestly say that I haven't had a single Kill Confirmed match so far here in this game that has reached the score limit. I don't even know what the score limit is in Kill Confirmed. It could be 50, it could be 75, it could be 100. I have no freaking idea, because the most amount of tags I've seen confirmed in a single match is 47, and that's not for one player, that's for an entire team. When a game mode is designed around players rushing around to confirm and deny tags, and instead of that happening, we're just reaching the time limit every single match, that's definitely an indication that the map design needs to be reworked, or that the multiplayer itself has some fundamental flaws within it. We've already talked a number of times here in the channel that it's not uncommon whatsoever for a full-length 10v10 domination match to go on, and at the end of it, the top player doesn't even have 20 kills. So because of that, I think it's clear that something needs to change in order for Modern Warfare to become a more fast-paced game, and maybe it's going to happen with this supposed multiplayer revamp. I really do hope it does. I really think that by adding the minimap back and making Dead Silence a perk too, the game is going to speed up quite a bit. But once again, I would love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. What do you like about Modern Warfare? What do you dislike about Modern Warfare? What would you personally change about the game to make it a little bit better? As always, I will do my best to keep you posted with as much information as possible. But for right now, these are all the leaks. These are all the rumors, and I will definitely do a follow-up video once we have more information. But for right now, that's all we have. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop me a rating. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.